Before I talk about rain, I do want to share. The question sometimes arises in my mind: why am I meditating? Why am I practicing mindfulness? Why do we walk this path? It's simple, but it's not easy. It takes effort and time. And certainly people practice for different reasons at different times in their lives, to relax, de-stress, cope with things better. And there's a promise in everything that we do that we'll find peace. And you can find peace. You can find little bits of it when you stop and take a breath, like Laura was describing. And you can tap into a pool of calm, like a very deep reservoir of calm inside of us. But it's a process, and we need to slow down and have our techniques and our tools to touch into this innate calm, this wisdom. And it comes and it goes, and we have our moments when it's not accessible, and then we have our moments when it is accessible. So there's actually, it's almost like there's two yous inside of you, right? There's the you that most people think of. It's the you that's defined by your career or your appearance, your external appearance, your family, your history, and all these external forces. And they're very important. It's a part of living in a society, the external. But none of these is the real you. The real you is something that is much more profound. And the real you is your awareness. It's your awareness, and it's like it's somewhere over here, maybe. Like it's, there's you, there's your body, but there's your awareness, which is just a fragment away. And it's the you who can see what you're doing, who can see what's going on, who can see this all from a place of maybe, I don't want to say distance because it's very connected, but from a place of wisdom. So maybe you've had, an experience, some people have had experiences, most of us, where something, maybe you heard some bad news, some really bad news, or you got into a car accident. Some catastrophic experience can really snap you to attention. And it can wake you up and say, oh God, what's most important in my life? And if you're not familiar with this state of awareness that's a little bit separate, that moment can feel very uncomfortable. Like you're detached, or you're alone, or you're out of touch. But in fact, this is a state of deep awareness. This is a state of deep attachment to your real foundation, your consciousness. And there's a lot of power that exists in that state of consciousness. It's that present awareness is, it's what connects us to the universe. It's connected to, like these cicadas that come every 17 years. Like God knows why they come every 17 years. That's our awareness is connected to this kind of mystery. It's like a mystery. Like we almost kind of can't quite understand it. But having the ability to have that awareness it can bring us a lot of power, inner power. In those moments when you're able to take a step away from your thoughts and emotions and see yourself experiencing them instead of being dragged around by them. Like at that moment, those precious moments, that's the real you. And that's where our place of calm resides. It's this unjudging observer saying, ah, yes, there it is. It's that moment when you're walking out in nature and you suddenly see a leaf like you've never seen a leaf before in your life, like it's brand new. Every once in a while that happens, right? And that's this pure awareness, a really special place. And most people don't realize, most of us believe that we're just the sum of our thoughts and our accomplishments, or what friends we have, or what kind of, how clean the house is, how much they know. And the reality is you're just, you're so much more than all of this. So as mindfulness practitioners on this path, we're always on the lookout for ways to come into present moment awareness, ways to detach a little from all the emotions and the thoughts and the stories. So we're always looking, what can bring me back home right now? Like, is it a breath? Is it a mantra? Is it a sound, maybe the sound of the bell? We're always collecting ways to step back and take stock, so to speak. And so the rain practice is just one of these ways. It's a practical technique. It's a guide. It's a way to walk through in a very personal way things that we're taking personally. Because if we process those things that are in the subconscious, as Trevor's saying, if we can process them, we can release them. Right? When they're hidden, we don't have a chance. So if we can tap in, if we can look in, we can be more free. So RAIN is an acronym for this practice. And I'll just say that, whatever, and this, but whatever you find challenging is going to be unique to you. Like one person can feel overwhelmed by, responsibility, or a wish to be seen or heard, or, who knows. So a lot of people believe that they should feel a certain way. They should feel happy, like my life is good. Why am I fearful, for instance? So I'll just kindly ask you to leave that belief at the door that you should be feeling one way or the other. It won't serve you in any way, shape, or form. So just leave that particular belief outside and honor what's actually going on. It's so normal and it's so necessary. So RAIN, so the acronym RAIN, I'm going to put it up on the screen. I think it's 2 slides over. Yeah, RAIN, the RAIN practice. It's a meditation. And the 4 steps are recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. Recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. So in the meditation, which we'll do together, the first thing we do is we pause silently and reflect. We just ask ourselves, what's arising? We so rarely have a moment to be silent. It's so uncomfortable to just be silent, right? And there's a good reason for that, because things come up when we're silent and not doing anything. So we force ourselves to sit quietly And we ask ourselves, what's getting in the way right now of me and real happiness? Like true happiness should be mine. What's getting in the way right now? A recent interaction, some story in your head, a feeling, a thought, something that's not going your way. So number one, recognize our list of emotions, right? What is it? Pick the emotion or combination of things that's most prevalent. Name it to yourself. Recognize it. What is it? What is it that's here? Then accept. That's saying yes. Yes, this is anger. Yes, this is fear. Yes, this is overwhelm. It's okay. It's overwhelm. It's fear. It's not me. It's not personal. It just is. It's making me very uncomfortable, but it's fear. So accept. Then investigate. That slide that I had up before is perfect for investigate. Where does this feeling show up in my body? What physical sensations are activated when I'm in this story? Right? For instance, if I'm feeling anxious, it's a very uncomfortable feeling in the chest, around my heart space. And, I have to be honest, I am not able to stay with that sensation for a long time because it is so uncomfortable. And I'll pause and I'll do a downward dog, or I'll go listen to some music, or go for a walk around the block, because investigating is very helpful, but you want to just be sensitive if it's too much, right? So you can always focus on some other input from your five senses. And you can keep touching into that sensation so you can be familiar with it. So investigate. And lastly, nurture. And nurture, I think, was Tara Brach's introduction. I'll need to check into that. It used to be non-identify with what's going on, but she brought in a beautiful practice of nurture. How can I be with this? Because the reality is I have to be with it, right? So what would help me with this feeling now? Bringing in a wiser version of yourself, or somebody caring, or a deity, or even a pet. Bringing in somebody who can offer some comfort. Bringing in supportive touch. Putting one's hand on the chest is a beautiful gesture of self-care. So if you can let go of that, if you can just nurture it, it's a very healing process. So nurture. So recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. And it's just a practice that we use to develop our awareness, and a way to take a step back from what's going on.